and where people go to the ER, and then they subsequently send those reports to me. They kind of handle the animal portion. I check with the person, see, kind of learn about the bite and if they're doing okay health-wise. And during this process, I would say in the last couple months, we've had kind of a rash of animal bites where these dogs are offenders more than once, sometimes with pretty significant injuries where people are getting health care and wound care for months. And there's kind of a problem where we don't have a clear structure in the regulations of which dogs should be taken, what should be done with them. They're from 1968 for the county regulations. And I know Melvin wants to redo them. And dealing with the victims of the people that know these dogs have bitten multiple people. Some have been reported, some have not. Very well documented in the past. Melvin's predecessor was not a good documenter. And it's been hit or miss with law enforcement just because they're busy as well. So we have these dogs that have bitten multiple people. They're going to bite again. The Myrtle Point case is very, I think, important to consider because this dog, I don't know what the documentation is. I don't cover Coos County, but I certainly work in Coos County as well. And the dog, it wasn't its first infraction. It did kill the lady in front of her children, and it's a very traumatic situation, obviously for the people involved. And it wasn't the dog's only aggressive behavior. It just may not have been well documented and nothing was done to the dog. And, I don't know if there's litigation against the city or Coos County, but I think people would be liable if the dog was reported and has had infractions and then does something very terrible. I feel like we need to shore up the regulations, not only to protect the citizens of Murray County, but also to protect, the risk mitigation of having dogs. And unfortunately, they usually have not a great owner associated with them or an owner that has good mental health.
So quickly, I want, Doctor, thank you very much. Can you confirm the victim ultimately did die at Myrtle Point? We've had trouble finding the precise information on that, and maybe it was a year ago. I don't know. Real quick, if you would, please.
She definitely did die.
Okay, and
I know that to 100%. There's HIPAA stuff involved in there, but that she absolutely did die, and her children absolutely did witness.
So I'd like to have you involved in the future, if you're comfortable with that in how we move forward. Officer Trover, he's been here almost a year now, and his first week he was dealing with this, and since then he has been on the ground running non-stop. So this is timely, it's important, and we're very concerned, and we think the county has an important role. And so I'm going to turn the mic over to him if you would stay with us. We just have about 2 or 3 minutes left. Go ahead, Officer Trover, if you would, please.
So, since I took charge, I know of 3 bite cases that have maybe not been reported. Like she says, it's hearsay. So the thing we do is we take what has been actually submitted in law enforcement to us or the sheriff's department. So the incident she was talking about, Port Orford, there's a lot of rumors that dogs bit more people, but we've only had one document. Then we had another documentation that said the dog was a yellow dog and bit somebody. We could never document it. So that being said, we had 2 other dog bites that are just going. So, I know we're having dog bites, multiple dog bites. Usually our dog bites in this county are from people that don't live here. And then we got to follow up. But yeah, I know we have to fix our ordinances, not so much fix it because we are using the same ordinance as Coos County is, and Josephine doesn't even have a dangerous dog ordinance. So our ordinance are matched to what we have around here. Are they good enough? I don't know, but one of the things I'm going to reach out to in the next couple months is go out and grab counties like ours in the state and get as good or better as they are. But to say that the dog is the issue, it is, but we need, when we do these ordinances and with help from Ann and everybody, we need to go after the dog owners. Because if we go after a dog, euthanize it, they're just going to get another dog. So we have to go after the owners. That's the big thing. When we start these ordinances and stuff, we have to go after them.
You've said it well, and I think you're up on this. Much appreciated. Over the time that I've been here, the 5.5 years, I've seen, and that goes back to Officer Fortman, said, hey, we have more and different characterized as unusual pets. And so he was trying to get a handle on that. I know you've tried to get a handle on that. And so where is this going? Where's it evolving to? And what responsibilities does the county have? Thus this meeting today, and I'm sure you'll be following up. Much appreciated. So,
yeah, when I first took this job in December, I wanted to work on the animal ordinance because a lot of them are old. They've been updated here and there, but our documentation is not great when they were updated. So we do need to update our county animal ordinances. I started that, but then I had a lot of irons in the fire and some other things that I needed to take care of first. So
no, we understand.
And like I say, the ordinances are matching our sister counties around us, so I wasn't too worried about it. So here, I just got my second officer hired last week. They're going to hit the ground running. They've already, both officers shown tremendous ability to do their job. So here, probably in the next month or so, this is going to be one of my priorities.
Thank you. Just one thing to add to that. Thank you very much. We had a wolf, part wolf, part police dog bite a 2-year-old at Flores Lake 3 or 4 years ago. You're familiar with that?
No,
I'll make sure you get that information, but some very concerned citizens up there. So again, this is timely, much appreciated. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Chris?
Well, as code enforcement's liaison, Mel and I have spoken about this. We've had several meetings about this over the last couple of months. I was kind of surprised to see this on the agenda, but that's fine. I want to let the public know that Mel is on top of this. Code enforcement is dealing with this. I am fully aware of the facts of what I understand this to be, the dog in Port Orford, and there was another one in Brookings that was inside the house, I believe you said,
yes,
that bit someone. So, the board is aware of what's happening. The liaison is aware of what's happening with this department, and Mel is all over getting this straightened out. He's been very, very clear to me that he felt the code needed to be updated and clarified in some things, and to look at finding the owners of the animals as at fault as the animal itself. So we are on this, and I just want to let the public know that it is getting handled.
All right, thanks.
So the people contacted me is why I put it on the agenda. So
that's fine.
you can take the lead from here, and I would encourage you to do that. A lot of people are concerned about kids and grandkids. Who's next? What's next? How serious is this? We need a very serious evaluation. Thank you again.
Thank you.
You bet.
That's all I have.
I don't think
Thank you, Doctor.
I don't think anybody knows more about dog bites than the chair of this board. I had 30 years at UPS. It was I used to
And we all love dogs, don't we?
I used to love dogs, and I used to love Christmas. Okay, next up on the agenda is Summer Madsen and Miranda Pleggy, Strategic Destination Management Plan for the TLT Travel Curry Coast Tourism Program. It's just a short 97-page.
Let me get you set up.
And we
Yep, you sure may.
are so sorry for the delay. I'm going to buy you all lunch. Miss Wilkinson? No, yes, you too, Matt.
I don't know. Lunch, I'm not that cheap.
She likes lobster.
That's okay.
We don't have a McDonald's.
Yeah. let me
Economic
grab-
Development Coordinator Madison will co-sign the check for lunch.
While Miranda's pulling that up, Summer Madison Economic Development, Miranda Plagge Economic Development. The deliverables that Miranda's going to share with you today are a condensed version of what you have asked for from the Tourism Promotions Committee in Ordinance 2002. And you've had an opportunity to review these materials for maybe the past week, so we're looking forward to feedback and your blessing on moving forward.
By the way, that presentation that you guys sent in was very well done.
Thank
Very
you.
well done.
Yeah, well, that's Miranda.
Oh, that's the core team. It was a village. It really did. So we have a few people coming on. They are.
Got to click on the microphone on, I guess is what it's telling
There
you.
we go. So it looks like Kristen's on. We're hoping Julie will jump on, and perhaps Holly.
Is it our fault?
Yep.
Sorry.
We did apologize about the schedule conflicts. So, just to get going, obviously we're here to present the Crew County's destination strategy, and so we're gonna get into that. We'll get into some of the slides and whatnot as well. If I could find that. But one of the things that I want to do is also just a small introduction. And I don't see it on there anymore. Oh, goodness.
It was at the top right, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Department, I don't think so.
it was up here. So I don't know what happened to it.
I say that a lot when I do computers.
Well, I would be a little upset if that was the case, but we'll take a look. Yeah, someone did delete it.
Wow.
Okay.
Good work, JJ. He is the man.
Way to think on your toes, JJ. I appreciate that.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. So how did we get here, besides all that jazz? This work began years before I was hired in 2015 approximately. I began to first administer this program in 2019, so forgive me if I take a moment to thank those who had the foresight to take up this initiative in the county regarding transient lodging tax and tourism while seeing it through to this juncture. Those stakeholders, of course, did not work alone. So to the voters and the commissioners who have seen this program through to our present form, you have served not only your constituents, but future generations as well. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the Tourism and Promotion Committee members, past and present. Your work has helped lay the foundation for a strong program moving forward. So as one of the stewards of this program since its installation in 2019, I thank all of you. This has been some of the most rewarding work I've had the privilege of taking up. I've seen it in its infancy and had the pleasure of dreaming big for its future. I've had two direct leaders who have been instrumental in guiding this program, which is why I stand before you in our community today. This plan is comprehensive, it's detailed, so while also acting as a roadmap for the tourism program for the foreseeable future, 2037 to be exact. We unfortunately don't have the time to go slide by slide. It's about 86 slides. Through the entirety of the plan, we will highlight some things that we're excited about, feel pertinent to the work we're doing today, and some of the things that we can begin to work on tomorrow. We urge the community to get on Creek County's website, go to Economic Development, click on Tourism and Promotions for the entirety of the plan. This plan did not come together on its own, and it really did take a village of sorts to get this work off the ground and into your hands today. Most are aware of the effects of COVID that had on our tourism industry on the southern Oregon coast, some that we are still feeling today. Our Tourism Promotion Committee was hit hard as well. A good number of those first members were business owners in the industry and had to take up arms in running those businesses, sometimes on their own. So we were in the middle of COVID 2021, couldn't get a quorum with our committee. Asset reports started, but were unfinished, and didn't know when restrictions would lift and when we would be able to resume our reports. As I did many times prior, I reached out to our partners and peers in the tourism industry for advice on moving forward. Julie Miller was instrumental in answering that call. She just finished work with Lookout and some consulting work and thought they would be perfect fit for this type of report. So finally, I'd like to thank our core team for this strategic plan. It starts with Summer Madison, Economic Development Coordinator for Curry County, Lookout in Holly McAfee, Cross Current Collaborative in Kristen Dahl, Julie Miller in Travel Southern Oregon Coast, and Dave Lacey, who's with us today, with the Oregon Coast Visitors Association. Thank you all thank you all. You've become some of my favorite stewards and partners on the Southern Oregon Coast. As the current caretaker, I humbly and gratefully present to our community the deliverable outlined first in Ordinance 1913 and more recently in Ordinance 2002, the written report, which will be known hereforth as Curry County's Destination Strategy. Okay. So, as I stated, it's 86 slides, but we're going to just go quickly through about 26 of them. So, Curry County's Destination Strategy, again, we talked about Lookout, Cross Current, Travel Curry Coast, Economic Development, Travel Southern Oregon Coast, and the Oregon Coast Visitors Association. So, there was a lot of folks involved in this plan. Okay, so community context. Why a destination strategy now? Curry County pursued the development of a destination strategy because the county adopted a new transient lodging tax that is bringing in new revenue. Residents want to see it invested wisely. The region has experienced a decline in visitation levels and economic impact since the start of the pandemic. A strategy to revive and accelerate recovery is actually needed. Some of the things that we can do, Travel Southern Oregon Coast has built a framework to market the region as a destination. So we have some opportunities to leverage one another's resources and improve our overall impact. We also can work with Oregon Coast Visitors Association in investing in marketing and development strategies in the region, another opportunity for collaboration. So what does it look like? We have a good roadmap for the future. The region is moving forward. Everyone is aligned around a common set of priorities so we can get things done. We're building off of existing past work and aligning with others' ongoing efforts, and we have built confidence that funds will be invested effectively to build a sustainable tourism economy in Curry County. So all of this is sort of a broad outlook of what it looks like in 2037. So our overview, what is it? Managing for sustainable tourism in a destination is a complex activity. A roadmap is necessary in order to give diverse stakeholders to align for impact. A destination strategy is exactly that, a vision and a roadmap that clarifies where a community wants to go and how they're going to get there. A strategy may contain direction on management, development, marketing, and stewardship activities. So this is where we're at, or where we were anyways, right? And this is where we want to go. We all want to align, basically. Oop, back. Okay, did I jump one? I did. Okay. Sorry about that. It is jumping. And now I can't find
You can just use the
the
arrow
mouse. Where's the mouse? There.
You can use the arrow keys also to move them.
I don't think I have the.
Doesn't have a keyboard.
Yeah.
The keyboard's not there? Okay.
Yeah. Not sure
Wonder
where
what
that.
happened to the
Oh, that's right. I think somebody dropped it and broke it.
Did we? On the keyboard.
One day we'll have technology in here. I
Yes,
think
that's
somebody
something that's also coming, and unfortunately, it's taken a long time to do.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, let's see if we can go back.
When you two are standing together, stuff gets done for sure.
We like to think so, that's for sure. Okay. So a few key terms, and I apologize. You'll hear us use a few terms that may sound like industry jargon. Here they're defined using the simplest of definitions. So destination management is the act of coordinating activities across multiple agencies and organizations to manage visitor impacts and improve livability. Destination development is the act of improving the experience within a destination for visitors and residents. Destination marketing is the act of raising awareness, attracting visitors, and building long-term relationships through branding, communications, and promotion. Destination stewardship is the act of protecting ecosystems, landscapes, and cultures that define a place. So what does that look like? Under destination management, leadership provides through a collaborative of diverse organizations responsible for implementing a destination strategy, focus, communication, coordination, collaboration. Under that is destination development, destination marketing, and destination stewardship. So a 15-year community tourism vision, what does that look like? For now, it's charming small town spirit. All are welcome here. As the robust visitor experience. Our incredible life-affirming natural assets, both public and private, are the major draw for outdoor exploration and adventure recreation of all types. Outdoor enthusiasts are staying longer and coming back all throughout the year because of the richness of the unparalleled experiences offered here. Visitors are coming year-round from all over the world for professionally guided experiences, from sea kayaking to whale watching to birding to scuba diving, putting Curry County high on the list for adventure travelers. What does a robust visitor experience look like? Visitors can learn from all regions' history as well as connect with the current day culture, whether that be through crafts people or storytellers. The region's culture has been brought to the forefront through a variety of touch points. On way we've done that is through the intentional and robust events that allow us to share our current day culture with others. The events we focus on are exceptional quality, which drives multi-day visitations. We also go into marketing and communications, tourism as a sustainable economic driver. So what do we want to retain? Really, we want to retain our community values, right? So a lot of this was actually put together by a strategic survey. So we had a survey go out to all the stakeholders in the community. It was public. We put it out there so that we could get the most information back. So there was a lot of information that we drew from that survey that actually is in this plan. So some of the community values. The imperatives. Community values are core to any destination. They're an invisible backbone of a community's culture. If you want to celebrate and retain a community's culture, it is important to first gain clarity on the community or the commonly held yet not often discussed values. These values can be used as an internal compass or communicated with visitors directly. So here are some of our community values that were, again, in that stakeholder survey. Balance. We want to maintain balance between visitation, community needs, quality of life. Small town charm. We want to retain a sense of place in our unique and independent small coastal towns. Welcoming. We want to welcome people of all cultures and identities. Healthy natural systems. We want to respect, protect the natural environment that affords us our way of life. So, how do we do that? We're going to do it through some strategic focus areas. We're not going to go into detail. I'm just going to go over through what those look like. But where do we want to, focus our energy? So, strategic focus area A will be accelerate the development of visitors services. Strategic focus area B, increase visitation, improve consistency of demand. Strategic focus area C, increase collaboration for strategic alignment and greater impact. How do we do that? Well, we want to create, or at least it has been recommended to create, a destination leadership team. So how the work actually gets done. So what that looks like would be, for instance, invited partners and participants, lodging property reps, business at large reps, Curry County Economic Development, Curry County Aquatic Safety, Oregon Coast Visitors Association, Oregon Parks and Recreation, Oregon State University Extension, the Talwadi Nation, or Lucky 7 Casino, Travel Southern Oregon Coast, the USDA Forest Service, Wild Rivers Coast Alliance, and Wild Rivers Coast Food Trail Project Rep. So some of those things that came out of that stakeholder survey, some things that we could do over the next 3 to 5 years: provide more opportunities to experience outdoor recreation in the region, encourage visitation to the region in shoulder seasons, which shoulder in our industry just means off season. Improve the overall sustainability of the tourism industry, develop a unified brand and messaging, provide more opportunities to experience the region's agricultural landscape. Aquacultural landscape.
Yeah, aqua.
Caught me.
Yeah.
So what can we do in the next 1 to 3 years? So what we can do, and some projects that could be underway: a beach float event, Beacon Broadband, Coastal Express Bus, concerts in the park, Curry County Aquatic Safety, Curry County Mountain Bike Trail, Fairgrounds, the Wild Rivers Coast Food Trail, Gold Beach Main Street Programs, Gold Beach Mountain Bike Trail Development Plan, Kid Town, which I heard got actually approved, so yay Brookings, the Mushroom Festival, OCT and OPRD, Oregon Coast Public Art Trail, the Port Orford Dolly Dock, South Coast Cultural Tour, TSOC Collaboration, which is Julie Miller, and the I'm going to say this.
World War.
Thank you. World War
Bomb site.
II bombing, Nobu Fujita. So those are some of the things that we can take away and actually do in the next 1 to 3 years. So we're pretty excited. Some of these are already happening, which is also, again, something that the survey told us. So these are our consultants. On the left is Holly McAfee, and on the right is Kristen Dahl. And I am, see if I can get out of there. And I don't know if they're online, but we will. Yeah, they are online. So we'll take questions here shortly, but what I do want to do is introduce you. You guys, of course, are familiar with Leslie Wilkinson. She is our chair for our Tourism Promotions Committee. They have a few suggestions for the plan as well, and then we'll do question and answers.
Welcome, Leslie.
Hi, let me move this keyboard so I don't push anything. So that's a lot, right? Seems a little ambitious, doesn't it? And we're talking about the year 2037, and I hate to say this, probably some of us won't be here, but that doesn't really matter. We owe it as to this community as though we're going to be here, and we also owe it to our generations. And I want to step aside here to let you know that this just isn't a destination strategic plan for tourism. It really kind of dovetails with the county's own strategic plan. I had the opportunity to look that over, and I really found a lot of similarities and parallels, especially under the economic development part of your plan. Items that are in the destination strategy plan that Miranda's introduced today, especially on page 2 of that plan, clearly align themselves with that plan, as I've said, and specifically the recreational opportunities, the strengthening of our own local food system, celebrating our unique experience, and the cultivation of partnerships within and out of the county of Curry. And that, again, is right there in the county's own strategic plan. So as you look through that big piece of paper that you folks got earlier this week, if you take a look at the focus area group A, which I refer to as asset development, you can see that clearly aligns. Focus group B, which is that marketing and branding direction, is clearly in line. And that much needed collaboration efforts as outlined in C, focus area C, also fall in line. So it's not really anything new. You're just looking at the game plan to make this work. So we did, as a committee, want to offer 3 different suggestions. And the first one has to do with accessibility. Not all of us are riding our bikes. Sorry, Dave.
I am, just mine's motorized.
Yeah, and mine has 4 wheels, not 2. So we do want to ask that there be some modifications, and as they said, the first one is accessibility. So everything that is developed regarding tourism and related facilities has accessibility sprinkled into it, and I'll just use the acronym ADA. And if that's not going to be something that happens, we feel that there needs to be some justification on the end of whoever that project coordinator or leader is, or whatever that event is, as to why not. The second thing is the destination leadership team. We want to specifically add that the city managers or administrators, as well as port managers, be added to that list. We feel that that was missing from the plan, and those people deserve a seat at the table. And then the third one has to kind of do about the pristine that Samuel H. Boardman would have wanted to have seen. And that is that the county consider anything that would compromise the largest industry in the South Coast, which is tourism. And this would include, but it's not limited to, air quality, sea life, light pollution, noise pollution, or anything that would distract from the natural beauty of our Curry County. And we feel that that's important, and we want to drive that home in the destination plan. So in closing, I want to thank the core team. It doesn't take long to figure out, if you've read that document, that there's hundreds of hours, and I was not privy to those meetings. I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall, because I'm sure there were some discussions, right, Dave? Some heated discussions occasionally, I would assume. Oh, not so heated, he said. There was a lot of discussion. And it takes a lot to take all of those arrows and get them in the right direction. And I want the board of commissioners to consider adoption of this plan with the modifications, because it really does align with where the county wants to be in 2037. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May I, Mr. Chair, real quick?
Sure.
This, Ms. Wilkinson, the TLT committee that you have led with our wonderful staff has been very, very productive and diligent and incredibly qualified people. And I think I speak for the board when I say a gigantic thank you. Please stay the course, and just really appreciate the good work.
Well, we appreciate that, and I know that some of us will have already offered to be part of the destination leadership team as well. So it's not that we're abandoning the the ship. We just want the ship to be larger.
Mm-hmm.
That is the result of your work.
So, gentlemen and community, we again, wanted to present this plan. I want to give you the time to, I know I gave you the plan a week ago, so you had the ability to sort of go over the whole plan. So if you have any questions or comments, we have Kristen Dahl, who's with Cross Current Collaborative, there on screen with us as well. Oh, and it looks like Holly's jumping on as well. So if you have any questions for our consultants, again, Holly McAfee is with Lookout and Kristen Dahl is with Cross Current Collective. Or if you have any questions for myself or Summer.
Any questions, guys?
Great work.
Very good presentation.
Yep.
Sorry, Akva wanted to say
Yeah.
something. Is that what Summers?
Mm-hmm.
Dave, would you like to jump up since you're in the room?
They're talking behind your back, and they want you to say.
My support for
Okay.
this plan. I think
All right.
a lot of work went into it, and I hope that you guys adopt it. And I like Leslie's suggestions for inclusivity and ADA and all that stuff. And in fact, it's in every plan that we've submitted for bike trails here.
Yeah.
There is plans for that, and all the ADA kayak launches
Yeah.
that we've been putting in. So I totally agree with you. So just voicing my support.
Way to support David's chair and all that stuff. Those ADA folks, you betcha.
All right.
I'd like to make a point that all those additions were unanimously supported by the board, by the GLT.
Okay.
100%. And also, what we're talking about here. Clean air.
Yeah.
So, just to wrap up, obviously, it's a very detailed plan. If the community wants to look for it again, it'll be on our website. So under economic development, under the Tourism Promotions Committee, we'll have a link there for the entirety of the plan, because it is detailed. And we'd like to, hear some comments from the community as well, who are watching maybe for the first time and hearing about tourism here in the county.
All right,
So.
thanks.
Very, very good.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Holly.
Got a quick question from the public. Dallin?
Projection of taxes in the future, is it being adjusted for the cost of living?
Well,
Rising and rising and rising?
the cost of living doesn't necessarily affect the lodging facilities. So we draw our taxes from the lodging facilities. Right. So as far as the adjustment for that, we're taking into account right now some of the things that are going on, as far as like gas prices and things of that nature. We've seen a bit of a hit this year. It's not, we're not really at the very end of that collection, so we don't know the full scope of what that looks like.
It's a lot
But there's
down.
some differences.
Can I add something to that?
I'd say it's down 30%.
Step up to the mic, please.
Can't hear me this way.
We want the public to hear you.
One of the things that, if I can speak to this gentleman's question, COVID is over when it comes to travel. I have friends that are now buying airplane tickets. Okay, they're going to Europe, they're going to Hawaii, they're going to wherever. That's something that we're going to notice, that the revenue may decrease from the TLT taxes, because we are now a small fish in a large sea.
Yeah.
Okay. During COVID, we kind of had some great little benefits here because people were coming over here during COVID. So we are going to see that. And that's another reason why it's important that we start this, get this ground, get ourselves running, and get ready for 2037.
All right, thanks.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Kristen.
Thank you.
Great job, Miranda.
Can you give us the mouse and we can?
Yes. Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you, ladies. So it's 11:14. There was another thing at 11:15. Roadmaster SWS equipment. So that's the next one that was on the.
We scheduled a public hearing at 11. We're a little optimistic. It should be pretty quick. I was wondering if we could sneak that in first.
Yeah, because that's just a reading of this, right?
Yeah. So you have to close the board meeting, open that hearing, and
Okay.
go from there.
Real quick, I'm going to close this board meeting, but nobody has to leave, and I will open up the public hearing that was at 11 o'clock. It's 11:15 now. And this public hearing regarding the amendment of ordinance amending Article 3, Division 4 of Curry County Code, rights of way. And we will now hold a public hearing as to the adoption of an ordinance amending the Article 3, Division 4 of Curry County Code. All members of the public and staff are welcome to provide comments for consideration of the board. Are there any members of the public that wish to make a comment? If there's not, are there any staff members that wish to make a comment? I would entertain a motion then to approve the proposed changes to the Curry County Code.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Okay, got a motion?
I'll second.
And I got a second. Any question or comment on that? Hearing none, all in favor say yes.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Now I will close the public hearing and open up the regular meeting,
Reopen?
reopen.
Do you want to address that or not, or just forget about it because it's over?
Mr. Daniel, we've already taken public comments, so.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
He
it
come all the way
happened
from Brookings, though.
immediately, so.
Right?
Oh, well.
Can you give him 2 minutes?
Can you do it in 2 minutes?
Probably, yeah. Yeah,
Just a quick,
well, I appreciate that, I really do, so.
Let's go.
All right.
he's got it on his iPhone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry,
It's okay.
Commissioner. Sorry, I should have got here earlier, but the agenda was later, and I didn't make myself clear on that. I'm Daniel Jew from Brookings, a retired teacher, and I just want to say I support separating the inappropriate material in the libraries. As a teacher, I always would have story time with the kids, and anything with good values, good illustrations, good literature, courage, faithfulness, all these things were important. Love, loyalty. I don't know what's happening anyway.
Honesty, yeah.
So I just went to let you know that I really support this resolution if it's passes. So I'm sorry, I got this here somewhere.
That's like us on our computer.
Yeah.
Mr. Jew, you're talking about the 5 Curry County Public Libraries, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. Anyway, everything is age appropriate. As a teacher, I taught every grade you can think of, from handicap to kindergarten to juvenile delinquents, and everything has to be appropriate. And even taught felons at Pelican Bay how not to get caught. No. Anyway, I just want to say thank you, and I support what you do. And if I could find this for you real quick, but
Well, I think it's too late, Dan.
yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Anthony?
Don't want to forget the consent agenda. I think we
Okay.
skipped over just.
Yeah, so real quick, can we get a motion, can I get a motion to approve that consent agenda as amended?
I'll make a motion as amended.
Okay.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Got a motion and a second to approve that consent agenda as amended. All in favor say yes.
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 Motion carries 3-0. So, Rich, are you ready for your 11:15? It's now 11:19.
Shane, are you on? Can you hear us?
This is Shane. Yes. Hi there, I can hear you.
All right.
Good morning, Shane. I'll get this going here. This is actually like third or fourth on my packet, so I got to reorganize my packet. Meeting's dragging a little longer. Yeah, so the board asked me to bring this back. They needed more time to look at this. And on the road department request for board approval for Roadmaster Signature Authority to purchase Rapid View IBAC HD TV system from SWS Equipment for $187,000. And this equipment is in our approved 2022-23 budget, and it's part of our master plan. And I explained in the past meetings about proactive maintenance, how important that is. And there were some other questions about other TV camera systems that cost much less that are on the internet. And the board, Commissioner Pass wanted more information on that. And I believe Shane Guttrich has information. He looked into that Orion system.
Well, there was two. There was actually another
Gemini
one that
also.
IBAC did as well.
Yeah, Orion and Gemini were both did, you said.
So, Shane, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so, as far as the Vision, the Orion, Gemini, Iris, looked into those, in comparison to what, our system, basically, what you had, you've seen the video, we've done the demos, I've been there 3 times with the demo. We were the only successful demo to go through a 43, 45-inch corrugated storm line with cobblestone. have pictures and video and PDF there that I sent, but so this Insight Vision, you know, $29,000 to $35,000. I notice it's based in Wisconsin. There's no local distributors within our state on this particular unit. There's from their website only seen president and vice president, so there's no, like, I don't know how many are within that company, but this, you know, it's just a direct type company. Some of the things and features that we offer for safety in particular, with what I quoted, is when we raise and lower our crawler system, we use a cable. We use this because for this particular tractor setup, it's very heavy. It's over 50 pounds. And with this cable, you use a foot control that allows you to free your hands and to steer the unit into down into a manhole up to 30 feet and below, with basically no strain at all, just using the foot controls. So with our system, you can do that. With theirs, you cannot. You have to do it by hand. We have 1,000 feet of cable on our quoted system. They have 600 maximum. They use a strain relief pigtail. Basically what that is like, you know how an extension cord, when you plug an extension cord together and you pull on it and it comes loose. They have two cables that reach back to their mainline cable to release that tension. And what that does is it causes strain to your mainline cable, which is the 600 feet. And so you end up replacing that very often. Doesn't hold up. Where our system plugs directly into the crawler and it's free floating left to right, up and down. We also have a device that is a tensioner, so when you pull back on the joystick to go into reverse, it releases that slack. Well, it releases any slack in the cable to prevent you from running over the cable when you're coming out of the line. So with this competitor, this is another feature that the competitor does not have. And then we build weight. We believe that weight equals more traction. So our system is made in Germany. We have over 250 employees there. They're a world-renowned company. They actually made the first camera system in 1956. So they've been around a long time. And then, you know, in Rochester, Indiana, they have roughly, 50 to 100 employees. And then our company, who is a local distributor here in Oregon, we have over 60 employees, and we've been in business for 30 years. So I guess what I'm saying is that our product, you're going to want this product to last, to be dependable, to be rigid, to be useful and not break down. And one last note is our product has a 10-year parts guarantee. That means for 10 years, we guarantee that unit, you can still order parts for it, which is pretty rare in our industry. So this other unit also will only go up to 48-inch MAC lines. We can go up to 106-inch from 8-inch all the way up. And we also have 1080p HD. So for water infiltration, those hard to see, not a better picture in the industry with our system.
All right.
So, any serviceability.
I'll be ready to make a motion if you are.
Local support. We provide all that versus these less expensive type systems, I guess.
Any questions for Shane, guys?
Not for Shane.
For anybody?
I have a question.
Question, go ahead.
Well, I'm still really struggling with even considering buying this thing for $187,000. When and I give you props, Shane. I've been in car sales as well, and I'm not saying you're a car salesman, but if I've got a person on my lot that's thinking about going down the road and look at my competitor, I'm going to tell you every reason why you shouldn't buy that competitor's car, why you should buy mine right now before you leave the lot. We are to make responsible fiscal decisions for the dollars that we spend here in this county. And I do not see, we bought the truck with this company, trusted the company to buy that truck, and hope to continue to do business with that company for many years. But I don't personally see a difference for a couple of bells and whistles that it may have. He mentioned that it has a 10-year parts guarantee, that they have to produce parts for 10 years. Under federal law, most companies have a mandated time limit that they have to produce parts for something if they sell it on the open market. So that's one of the main issues for me is you're not showing me $150,000, and that's a substantial amount of money. When we're looking at a very, very similar unit for $30,000 versus $187,000, and I know you mentioned yours will go in a lot bigger culvert, but once you're over a 4-foot culvert, a 48-inch, a 60-inch culvert, you can walk in the culvert. So, those are a lot of things that I think, Commissioner Boyce has voiced his concerns about an OpenGov software program that we trusted a company to produce here for this county. And I don't believe it ever reached $200,000, but the total cost of it reached $160,000 of what a failure we were sold. And it was a failure, and I admit to that. The downside is that was something that we could use that was going to completely change the approach of finance and the way we do our payrolls and all those kind of things. This is something that we can purchase for a fifth the price, and it will do almost the same thing. And I just don't see $187,000 of difference. There's also some question on the Sourcewell contracts on this, and I left my glasses in my office during the break, but I understand there's an RVL number, and I'd like to know, where did we get that RVL number from? Where was that drawn from?
I don't know what RVL stands for.
It's a number that you need to have on a purchase contract showing, again, I don't have my
RVL is, sorry, I apologize here, guys, I'm out of the country, but I broke free and able to jump on the call. This is Kyle Seekers from Rapid View iBox. I believe RVL stands for Rapid View LLC, but it's Sourcewell assigns our contract identifiers or a contract number. RVL, that is the start of our Sourcewell contract number, and that's what we have to reference for someone to purchase off of Sourcewell.
And that's what I'm saying is when I search this RVL, I don't find it. So if this was a purchase contract that's already been drawn, or you're doing this presentation to us, you've already provided us a RVL number that doesn't show up when we look it up. And I'm not saying there's anything improper. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm just trying to find it. That's all.
So as far as a member ID number, we were able to locate that. You can locate that through Sourcewell by entering the county, and it pops up as far as the member ID number for the contract, as well as the contract stated on the quotation.
Well, and that's what I have. I have the quote form in front of me, and the number is 122017-RVL. And when we look that up, it doesn't come up.
Yeah, so if you Google search Sourcewell Rapid View, it comes right up. 120721-RVL.
Okay. All right.
Maturity date is January 17, 2026.
Okay. 2026.
Yeah, Sourcewell is a 4-year contract, and they rebid it every 4 years. So.
And what was the date on the month and day again?
January 17, 2026 is the maturity date of that contract.
Okay.
But they will, as historically done, will rebid that contract. And after 2026, we anticipate being on that contract again until 2030.
Okay, thank you. Again, I wasn't saying there was anything improper. I just couldn't find it, so I just want to be able to find a way to find it. Getting back to the question here, to this board, I just I can't see $150,000 difference in this machine for something that we'll use. I don't know how much we'll use, but I would imagine we'll probably use it at a minimum several times a year during the rain season. But to buy a machine for $30,000 that doesn't have the bells and whistles, but it will do the same job, I can find good use for $150,000 and other things.
Rich, you want to speak?
Can I?
Yeah, I'd like to speak about all that. And so, road department started working on this project a few years ago, and this is a couple years of work, and this is a piece of equipment that the team decided upon that it's expensive. And but I believe the term that I would use that people would understand is when they look at that $39,000 piece of equipment, I'd call that a blue light special, okay? And what we're talking about is a Cadillac. I'll agree to that, okay? But we're talking about a camera that has strong factory support, that's capable, and we demoed several cameras. And this is the only camera that was able to perform the task. And this is a robust, heavy-duty camera. It has an air-charged chassis that we charge with air. These cameras go underwater, come up out of water. They're very expensive components. And, you know, this is in our master plan. This is in our approved budget. And that and I could talk about that. And so the thing is that, you know, I'm getting mixed signals here, you know, because I brought this back 3 times. And I got $2.25 million of equipment to buy this year. This is a month and a half on this. And so the thing is, this is part of the approved budget and a part of our plans. And in the past, when you were my liaison, Commissioner Pash, you said that, you know, as far as when budget committee approves something, you go line by line through things, and then the board approves the budget, that you feel that a department head has the full authority to move forward with these matters, and that the board has no longer an input on this. And here I'm bringing this for your input, and I don't know what's changed. And so the thing is working hard. Like I said, just in equipment, we got $2.25 million of equipment to work on this year. We got millions of dollars of master plan projects. This is part of our ability to save money in the future. Like the last presentation we did, I showed a clogged culvert where a building could be flooded out. That could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is the only camera that we rented that was able to do that. Proactive storm drain maintenance can save us millions of dollars, and we need to be able to do that. And our plan is to do this program. This is going to be a summertime program when there's no water in these pipes, when it's fire season, when we have to do other activities other than things that could cause a fire. And so there's huge millions of dollars of saving with this equipment, and to you know, and the Curry County Road Department did its due diligence on this and has worked hard on it. So I think we should move forward.
Thank you. first of all, when it comes to OpenGov, an independent audit would have determined whether it was 160,000 or 200,000.
Whatever.
And so
We're not on OpenGov, we're on.
He brought it up, Mr. Chair, so
yeah.
let me conclude here, please.
I had no part of that.
Have our relationship has not always been perfect,
No.
but can anybody tell me any mistakes that this department head manager has made? Now, I've not always voted for his items. Okay, I'm looking at a lot of money here. I'm looking at 35 miles of culvert. I'm looking at, we asked him to go back and do his research multiple times. He's done that. So I don't want to say no because I trust his judgment. I've watched him closely. Before I ever handed out any compliments, I watched him closely for 3.5 years. So he deserves support on this. You bet, it's a lot of money. When it was time to do the dispatch, I asked, almost pleaded with this board for a second opinion on $715,000, which I ultimately supported, for a second opinion when Coos County Sheriff and Coos County Forest Protective Association was willing to come in. I asked for 10 days for that second opinion. This board said no. Okay? So we got his second opinion here. I just don't want to have even the appearance of a double standard. And that's what we seem to be looking at here. So I'm going to support this, Mr. Chair, and I'm ready to make a motion when you approve.
Any other questions? Chris?
I just, again, I support this as well. I think this is a necessary item for this county. Just like I supported the truck that you took me out on a demo and showed me this truck that cleans emergencies out of culverts. A flooded culvert that you can't clear, this truck goes in and clears it. I supported that 100%. I've supported
that.
with the road department over the last few years. You've asked for new equipment, new trucks, new grader, or new, I don't remember exactly everything we've purchased. A lot of it was end of life, 25, 30 year stuff that you thought we really needed to change. I supported all of it for you to build your department. I've never condemned anything you've done on the road department. I've actually congratulated you many times on your good work on grants and all that. All I'm saying is this county is financially strapped right now, and I understand it's in your budget, but just because it's in your budget doesn't mean you have to spend it on a Cadillac. You can buy the Escort instead of the Cadillac. Our sheriff's department had a budget to be able to fund all these deputies. Could he have hired anyone just on a whim? Yes, he could have, and it was budgeted. But instead of doing that, he couldn't find the right people. He didn't spend that money. It's great if we have a budget for something and we don't have to spend the money that we don't.
I
And when
agree.
we can buy this exact same, very close unit. Again, it's not a Cadillac, it's an Escort. Excuse me?
Guys, this,
What do you mean, guys?
well, no huffing, no puffing, just go ahead and finish.
All I'm saying is when you can buy the same unit for $30,000 versus $187,000, I don't understand the logic in that.
My expert opinion of this type of maintenance that the Curry County has never performed. We've never had a proactive storm drain maintenance program. I realize it's new, okay, but I know this stuff. And like I said, I have 37 years of experience in public works, operations and maintenance. And Commissioner Boyce is right. Since I've been here 4.5 years, I've done extremely well extending the road reserves with all types of grants, interagency agreement. But a lot of the new equipment helped with all that. And that's all part of the master plan, is that we be efficient and effective. And if you wait till something blows up, you can't control cost. But with equipment like this, I could get into something when it doesn't cost anything, just like with contacting that customer so his business doesn't float away. And that's what we're about. And so anyways, like I said, that $39,000 equipment, that'd be throwing money away in my opinion.
Shane or Kyle, do you guys want to speak? Anybody speak to that?
Well, they're going to tell you their unit's the greatest. The salespeople, they're going to tell you their unit's the greatest.
So, Mr. Chair.
They're not talking, so go ahead.
Just,
Sorry
Yeah.
about that. So there really honestly is not a similarity here between our system and a $30,000, like you say, system online. When you think about a crawler that's over 50 pounds and you're lifting that day in and day out, it becomes a safety issue.
I could buy a $200 winch.
And, when you compare this system to ours, there really is no comparison at all. There's no support with the system.
Okay.
Or you haven't even tried it out. And so, they don't have the ability to. It's basically everything's online here. So there's no local distributors.
You've already said all this, sir. You've already said all of this.
So, Mr.
Well, I just wanted to say it again.
And you're the salesman for the company, so I appreciate your honoring your company.
Court?
Ready to make a motion, Mr. Chair, and that is to approve Roadmaster Signature Authority to purchase a Rapid View IBAK HD TV system.
Do I have a second? I'll second that. Any other question or discussion?
A waste of county money.
Disagree.
Certainly disagree.
All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed say no.
No.
Motion carries 2-1.
Thank you.
Wow. Can I have that mouse? If it is handy?
So we've done the consent agenda. It's 11:44. We'll go to discussion/action items. Roadmaster Signature Authority for $20,000.
Actually, we got 11:30 that we're late on.
Oh, 11:30 what?
Video, Mr. Chair, if we could.
Oh, okay. L.
I need a minute. I'll be back. You guys do which one do.
Are they up and running?
We can wait for the commissioner to return, maybe.
No, let's go.
Eric, we need, this is our last virtual of the day, I think. Mrs. Hunter, come on in. Mr. Chair, I think this will just take 10 minutes.
Okay.
Connie, we have just 10, maybe 11 minutes, so you decide how you want to govern that, recommend that time slot.
Okay.
So if everyone can hear me, I'm very proud to recognize David Cracky. He is Oregon's Brain Injury Advocate Coordinator, Center of Brain Injury and Research and Training, University of Oregon. And I've got acquainted with him over the last year and a half and cannot say enough good about his work and his knowledge. And Mrs. Hunter, thank you for that introduction. Welcome, Mr. Dave. Great to see you. Thanks for your patience. We're running 20 minutes late. We didn't anticipate that. So Connie's going to start off for a few minutes. We have about 10 or 12 minutes, and then we'd like you to carry forward after she's done there. We're very excited about the hyperbaric oxygen treatment therapy system. Welcome, Mrs. Hunter. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and thank you for having us, by the way. And Dave, good to see you, and thank you for understanding our shortcomings of a rural county with everything from internet warts and foibles to just trying to get through the day during a pandemic with access to healthcare being a huge issue. So I'm going to ask that we reverse that agenda just a tiny bit and have Mr. Cracky speak a little bit today about the legislative funding for Siebert's work and a little bit more about the Center on Brain Injury Research and Training, which is the board agency for Oregon's TBI State Partnership Grant. And as you know, Mr. Cracky is also the brain injury advocate for the state and the brain injury advocate for veterans and service members for the state of Oregon. And I'm going to hand out some things while you talk a little bit, and we'll loop back around. But that way we can get your update in quickly, and then a little bit from here, and then we'll see what happens at the end, and we can both maybe have a final closing comment. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Pack, Commissioner Herzog, really appreciate the opportunity to be here today. I'm getting a little bit of an echo, so I'll turn that my volume down a little bit. Is everything okay on the tech issue on your side?
Good audio. Thank you.
Good. As Connie mentioned, my name is David Cracky. I am Oregon's brain injury advocate, a position that I've held since 2018. I last year served as Oregon's veterans and military personnel brain injury advocate as well, and it's a position that I continue to work on and in. In fact, we are having our first ever brain injury screenings for veterans at the Multnomah County stand-down. Veteran stand-down is coming up in early September. I operate out of my home office in Portland, but I am officially employed with the Center on Brain Injury Research and Training, CBIRT, at the University of Oregon. CBIRT is widely recognized nationally and internationally as a leader in not only brain injury research, but also brain injury policy development. And that is the role in which I find myself at CBIRT. And I gotta tell you, it's just been an incredible opportunity for me. I've been an attorney in Oregon since 1990, and it was an opportunity taking this position to step away from my litigation practice and to really focus on policy on a statewide basis. And that's why I'm so excited to be here today to continue this conversation with what you in Curry County are hopefully going to do, or certainly considering, as it will send messages not only throughout the state, but nationally when it comes to a very effective way for us to support our brain injured veterans and military personnel. I took the opportunity in preparation for this meeting to reach out to some of my colleagues in the Portland area and who are medical practitioners who employ or incorporate hyperbaric oxygen treatment, and I'll just call HVOT from now on, and confirmed again that the quote-unquote, the results are phenomenal. Now again, what I will be speaking about here for the next few minutes, some of it is anecdotal, and as an attorney, I understand the limitations of anecdotal evidence, but I think it's important in this context as well, just because the stories are so powerful. That being said, every month, new peer-reviewed studies are being released or coming out that demonstrate the benefits of HVOT for people with brain injury and with other co-occurring conditions that we commonly see with brain injury, including post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, other behavioral health and mental health concerns and conditions. Case in point, this practitioner who I spoke with recently talked about a gentleman coming in with post-concussive symptoms. At intake, they were a 5 out of 6 on the intake questionnaire form on the concussion scale. So they were way up there in terms of aggravated symptoms. They completed a course of HVOT, and at the end of that course, they were down to a 1 out of 6. An incredible result. And again, I realize it's anecdotal, but I also understand the studies are there to back this type of anecdotal evidence. Additionally, we saw improvement, or they saw improvement in balance, in vision issues. And so my question at this point, hearing these incredible results to the practitioner is, all right, well, is this an isolated event? Is this, 1 out of 10? And she just explained that no, this is the norm. This is 9 out of 10 are seeing significant improvement. She explained further that when you are essentially forcing oxygen into the body, it has a regenerative effect. It has, in her words, an ability to regrow the microcapillary bed. And of course, I, not being a medical doctor, said, well, let's talk about that in layman's terms. What does that mean when I address the commissioners? What are they going to really get out of that? It's a way of saying that this is a way to regrow the vascular system, to regrow these quote-unquote baby blood vessels, these brand new blood vessels, in such a vibrant way that they find their way to the damaged cells wherever they are in the body, especially in the brain, and through the internal chemical and other physiological processes, result in these incredible results. Stem cell growth is stimulated 800% after 15 treatments. Each treatment granted is 75 minutes, but nonetheless, after 15 treatments, 800% increase in stem cell growth. Stem cells being the undifferentiated cells of the body, essentially, in very lay terms, the body decides where those cells are needed. Do we need additional neurons, dopamine? Do we need other tissue regeneration? That is really exciting to me because it's allowing the body to heal itself through the inundation of pressurized, essentially, in huge quantities of oxygen. Studies also show an incredible effect positive effect on PTSD, on mental health, on anxiety. These are all concerns that our veterans with brain injury have. I just had a phone conversation with the wife of a veteran who suffered a blast injury back in 2011, and in service in combat in Iraq. And the poor veteran was just still completely hampered by these ongoing brain injury issues that had been morphed into or added on to PTSD, mental health, anxiety. And it really was becoming a problem with the family life, obviously, and his personal quality of life. And so it was very rewarding to me to be able to refer him out to someone who operates or who provides hyperbaric oxygen treatment, as well as, of course, getting into the VA's TBI and polytrauma unit in Vancouver. Another veteran that this practitioner who I recently spoke with mentioned was a veteran who, again, had a pretty significant brain injury that resulted in migraine headaches daily, all day, every day, was the way it was described to me, at a 7 out of 10 level on the pain scale. And I understand that pain is